Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a great morning already. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I'm trying to wait for my camera to come into focus. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It was my birthday. I was excited. 43 is going to be amazing. You know how sometimes you feel things down in your spirit. You can't really put it into words for other people because you're not sure if they're on the same frequency or level that you are. So you just tell them it's good. That's the way my birthday was. That's what I feel like about this year. It is going to be amazing. I'm trying to wait for my camera to adjust because it looks like I'm foggy, but that's okay. So what did you guys do for the weekend? Thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. I truly appreciate everybody that told me happy birthday. I had a great time. So no piercings. I didn't get hair color yet, but it's coming. So I was very good in that aspect of it. I'm waiting for my fearless co-host to come in, and she may be traveling, or she may be a little tired since she was doing so much traveling. So thank you guys for catching the show. If you missed it last week, I talked about walking away and leaving things alone. Sometimes that's what you have to do to begin your journey. You truly have to walk away and leave it alone. You can't continue to pick it up. It's not going to work that way. If you keep picking it up, you're going to continue to have crazy. So please be mindful of that. Let me see. I'm going to get us a quote for the day while I'm waiting for my fearless co-host to come in. What else did you guys do for the weekend? I had time to do a lot of thinking. There she is. Let's see if I can get her to come in. See if we get this show.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
Girl, I'm good. I don't know if it's my eyes or you looking extremely foggy over there. Maybe I'm
It's
tired from
me.
all this.
It's me, and I have no idea why my phone will not make me look any better. So,
All
um,
right. Well, good morning, y'all. Good
good
morning.
morning,
I didn't
cousin
know, girl.
Paula.
I thought I was tired from this weekend because we were going. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, maybe it's just my eyes. Let me get on here and ask, but that's all right. And I heard you saying you're looking for the quote this morning. I got you. It's right here. The quote this morning, guys, is the greatest good you can do for another is not just share your riches, but reveal to them their own, right? The greatest good you can do for another is not just share your riches, but reveal to them their own. And the reason I
Can
say that,
I add
guys,
to
is
that? That is, go ahead and say what you got to say, Lynn. Go ahead.
this was the reason that I'm saying that to you this morning is because all of the things that we went through, all the things that we talked about, every speaker who shared, every person in the room who shared a testimony or an aha or a takeaway, guys, I think everybody in the room leveled up this morning. And there was one speaker who was there. Her name is Dorothy Cook, y'all. This lady, let me tell y'all about Miss Dorothy Cook. Miss Dorothy Cook is a multimillionaire. She was in the room, y'all. She's 70 years old. Okay. When she got up on the stage, I thought, first of all, from where I was sitting, I thought she was about 50. So let me just be real on that point. And she got up there, y'all, and she shut down the room. Good morning, Miss Diane. Thank you so much for joining. for joining us. And that's fine. Get in here and get what you can while you can. And then we can always come back for the replays, right? Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And the other thing that we ask that you do when you come into the room, yes, please say hello, but also bring somebody else along. Share it with somebody else. See, that's one of the things that we don't do in our community, or one of the things that we talk about that we don't do in our community is share. Now, we'll be quick to go out there and share. If we see somebody's man out there in the street, at the movies, or at the mall with some other girl, but when it's some good information, hello, somebody, right? We're not quick to share that, right? We're not going to run tell that part, right?
Right.
So it's time to switch the script. And that was one of the things that Miss Dorothy was saying in the room. And I love that. And she was so influential in some of the things that she said. One of the things she shared, guys, that I want to share with you as well. And you know the story of Job, right? And Job, he talked about how everything that the thing that he feared the most had come upon him. And she stood there and she said, y'all, I fear having so much money that I can't even take it. And she said, the reason I do that is because the thing that you fear the most will come upon you. She said, so we got to start thinking differently about the way that we do things. Stop thinking about putting your mind on your problems right now and put it on where you would like to be. Put it on the solution. So I said all that to say, guys, we must do things differently. And one of the other, she also told everybody to write this down. And some of y'all might need to write this down and actually do this. She said, go into your phone and change your voicemail and give the date, right? So you would get a date of July 2nd, which is today, right? It's July. That's right. It's July. This is my birthday month now. But July, she said, you go in your voicemail and you say, it is July 2nd. I'm making some changes in my life. And if you don't get a response back from me, you one of the changes.
Miss Dorothy was playing, was she?
Yeah, she was not playing with nobody. You hear me? She said, you don't mess with me. And I loved her story because she came in and she talked about the fact that she's manufacturing and producing. She designed and manufactured her own product. And it's not Spanx, but it's something like a Spanx, right? Mm-hmm. But it's an overall undergarment. The ladies know what I'm talking about, y'all. Hold everything tight and right without seeing all those rolls rolling up and stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So but guys, we had an amazing time. Everyone in the room had brought invaluable things to the table. See, that's what's most important for us, guys. We got to recognize when it's time for us to move out of the room that we're in and go to the next one, right? Mm-hmm. And JoJo mentions this often about checking your circle. And if there are those Debbie Downers and those negative Nellies who are in your circle, tell them to shut it up.
That's right.
Now, tell them to shut it up so you can go on. You don't have time for that. I know I don't have time for that. Mm-hmm. And I got to level up for me too. I said, wait a minute now. I said, out of all of this opportunity that we have at our fingertips, and the fact that we are who we are whose we are, I gotta level up. It makes absolutely no sense for us to be in the position that we're in, y'all. Absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense for our churches. We say we believe in God, but we're the biggest ones in poverty, having to do fish fries just to bury our relatives, and having to do GoFundMe just to bury our relatives, and having to do all these other things, guys, when he told us that everything that we ever, everything that we want, right? Everything that we desire, we can have, but all we got to do is get in alignment with his purpose. And a lot of us are just sitting there. We haven't even recognized. We said, I know that, right? I heard that. But we're not doing any of it Because if we were, you wouldn't be in the situations and the circumstances that you're in. Not saying that life is going to be easy once you get it together, because when you start getting it together, that's when things start coming at you. Hello, somebody? That's when things are going to start attacking you the most. When you feel it, when you recognize and identify and come to the conclusion that I must change, that I must go to my next level, and the enemy recognizes, she getting on track, right? As long as you over there off track, he's okay with that. Letting you go 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction, he's okay with that. But as soon as you try to start getting stuff right, and as soon as you get yourself back upright, because you've been knocked down all this time and you didn't even know it. As soon as you get yourself back upright, right? Then here comes everything that could possibly attack you and possibly keep you down. So you must be intentional in reaching your goals so that you can actually achieve them, guys. I was so super excited about the opportunities this past weekend with that Million Builders Boot Camp. And then we also have another women's leadership conference that's coming up in 2 weeks. That's in Virginia. So, I mean, guys, just change your circles and get involved, get into those conversations, right? That's what I'm calling it, a conversation, because if you're not at the table, how do you know what's going on? How do you know what changes you can make? How do you know what's going to happen? Same thing is in your city, right? Do you ever go to the local meetings down at the city hall and actually know what's going on in your city? Have any impact? Can you say that you know what they're planning to do with the money that you pay every year in taxes, right? Because if you have a mortgage, you definitely paying tax. Well, you paying taxes no matter what you have, right? Because they're going to get theirs. But do you understand and know what's happening with all of that, guys? So I just thought that was very important, guys, that we figure out what it is that we need to do to get to our next. What is it, right? What is it? What do you want? And how badly do you want it? So that quote this morning was from Benjamin Disraeli. It's the greatest good you can do for another is not just share your riches, but reveal to them their own. Because there are too many people that are sitting out there that don't know how valuable they are. You don't know how valuable you are, so you're sitting there and you're accepting anything, right? And we got to figure this thing out, guys, and go to our next. So what I wanted to reiterate with you guys this morning around investing, I just want to ask the question, why haven't you started? Why haven't you started? What's keeping you back? What's holding you down? What's saying do not pass go, do not collect $100? What is stopping you from investing? And the reason I say that is because when you're ready to move, you will. If there was something in front of you that had to be done, you would do it, right? You would do it immediately. If something happened and your child needs something for school, or your child needs something for summer camp, or your child gets into an accident, you're going to figure out everything that you possibly can to get it done. But why are you not doing that to take care of yourself? Why are you not doing that to take care of your future? Why are you not doing that to build your legacy? See, there are things that we need to do and do differently, guys, and investing just happens to be one of those. There are many things that we can do differently, right? But as America's #1 financial rebound coach, my focus for you right now is investing. And that must be your focus for you, right? Figure out how it is, because investing is an end goal for many of us. Investing is the way that we're going to be able to close the wealth gap, because oftentimes if you stay in somebody else's job, build somebody else's dream, make someone else a millionaire, billionaire, you don't have time to work on your own stuff because you are so dedicated, involved, and immersed in building someone else's dream. So investing, guys, is the opportunity that's going to help you to get to your next. And then once you master the idea or this concept around making your money, keeping your money, and growing your money, then you also have an opportunity now to look at the different things that happen out there. Because do you know that all of those billionaires that you hear about, they do not use their own money. They use OPM, other people's money, right? They take other people's money and invest to do the things that they want to do. Even in the stock market, the businesses have gotten savvy to this. They're not even using their money. They're using your money. So we now have to master this concept of how do we now get to that next level, right? And by leveraging opportunities that are available to us, by leveraging, right, those vices and devices, right, that are there that can help us to get to our next. See, we got to recognize that. But the thing is, guys, oftentimes we won't pick up a book and read it, right? And the number one way to shift your mindset so that you can start moving to your next is to read, read, to read, to read, and to read, right? And that was intentional in saying read 5 different times, because it's very important, guys, that you get the knowledge that you need, and your mind doesn't start to think until you start reading those books. And I'm not saying everything in a book is going to resonate with you. You may be only able to pull away 1 or 2 things from a book. But if those 1 or 2 things trigger something for you and get you to change and start thinking differently, just imagine the value that has now been returned to your life. Get that $20 book and you can turn it into whatever you want to turn it in. Don't turn it into what Lynn says you turn it into. You can turn it into whatever you want to turn it into, right? So it's very important, guys, that we're intentional in everything that we do so that we can now recognize, right, the opportunities that are set before us. And I said, guys, the number one thing that you must do is know what it is that you want. Many of us are on the struggle bus because we have no clue as to what it is that we want. And I get that and I understand that. I've been there and I've done that for many years. I did not know what I wanted. So I had to sit there and I had to be intentional and I had to have these conversations with myself and figure out what that was. And it's scary sometimes when you sit alone with yourself and get alone with your thoughts and start trying to think. And it was a scary place for me to sit there and say, Lord, have mercy. I don't know what it is that I want. And for years, my husband, when we were first married, for years, he used to ask me, well, what is it that you want to do? I'll be like, I don't know, whatever you want to do, right? I was that girl. What do you want to do? I don't know, whatever you want to do. And he would tell me, and I wouldn't hear him. He would say, you have to figure out what it is that you want to do for you. He told me that all the time, over and over and over. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. All right. Right? But until I was ready to go to the next, then I had to sit down and figure out for myself. And I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, wow, I really don't know what it is that I want. So guys, you have to be intentional in figuring that thing out for you. And then once you figure out what it is that you want, you have to be specific. And we talked about this before, guys. You got to set those SMART goals. A SMART goal, you know what a SMART goal is. It's the S is for specific. The M is measurable. The A is attainable. The R is results oriented. And the T is time specific. So you need each of those components inside of your goal writing so that you can be specific enough, so you can be intentional in identifying what it is that you want. And then once you identify what it is that you want, we call that the end game, right? That's the end game. You know how we used to do those mazes when you were kids? You had to go through the maze and try to find the scarecrow was over here and the corn was over here. And then you had to go through the maze to try to get there and figure out what it is. Good morning. Good morning. You had to figure out your way to get over there. And sometimes you would go the wrong way and you have to go back, erase, and start over to get to the corn, right? The same thing, guys, in actually writing a goal for yourself. Once you write the goal for yourself, then you got to back map that thing, right? That's what I used to do as a kid, and I recognize that my son does the same thing. It's crazy. I don't know why. That's like, is that a genetic predisposition to go to the end first and then work your way backwards? Because when I watch him do crossword puzzles, I mean, not crossword puzzles, those mazes, he'll go to the end, the thing that he wants to find first, and then he draws his line backwards to the beginning. I said, wow, even my baby does that. I don't know if anyone else does that or anyone else did that, right? Go to the end of the thing first and then work your way backwards. But that's the beauty of life, guys. That's the beauty of recognizing and being intentional and knowing now that you're going to be consistent in getting to your next. So when we think about it with our investing, I told you guys this the last time. You need your wigs, your MIGs, your yigs, your MIGs, your wigs, and your digs, right? We're talking about your goals, your YIG, your yearly investing goal, right? So we're going to think of that as the end of the maze. That's our end game. So once I know what I want for the year, I want to make $50,000 on my investments. So what does that mean? I want to make $120,000 on my investment. So what does that mean for the year? So my MIG now is my monthly investing goal. So if I want $120,000 for the year, then that means I need to make $10,000 on my investments for the month, right? So now I need to back map. Then what does that mean for me weekly? If I want $10,000 for the month for my MIG, now my WIG is $2,500, right, for that week. Then I can now break it down to my DIG, my daily investing goal. What are the things that I need to do now in order to invest to get that type of return that's going to produce overall? What was my end goal? My end game was $120,000. See, guys, we have to be that specific, that intentional, because that's how you get to your next. That's how you push past what it is that you're currently doing to get to the thing that you want to achieve. And in the same way that my baby did the same thing that I did as a kid with those mazes, start at the end and work your way backwards to the beginning. Did anybody else do that? I'm just curious, right?
I just looked at mine. I just looked at, before I drew anything, I looked at it before I would draw and find my answer. Then I would go in and color it in.
Oh, and see, and that's another important point too. Oftentimes we won't even look at a thing. We just hear that it's a good opportunity and go and jump in it. And you don't have a plan of how you're gonna get there or anything, right? You don't have a plan that you're gonna do, how to deal with anything. But for me, I recognize. So I'm wondering. I need to do some research on that to see if it's genetic or not. Do your babies do things that same way, JoJo, that you do it? They look at it.
Yeah.
They look at it first before they identify what the path is that they're going to take.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got to do some research. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to look that one up to see if there's some way, the way that we've now processed the information to get a certain task done, is that something that we've genetically passed on, or if there's certain experiences that we've had in our lives that make us to do things that way. I think that's some great research. But I'm gonna figure that thing out. But for those of you who are just joining, what we were talking about is how do you actually know what it is that you want? Because many of us don't have a clue, right, as to what it is that we want, and being intentional and actually setting the goal. And we talked about setting a SMART goal, one in which you're specific, one that is measurable, one that is attainable, results oriented, and time specific. Yes. Okay. So your baby is a math whiz, but you cried over your math problems. So I don't know, is that genetic? Is that a genetic predisposition in your family? Because I know sometimes they say boys are smarter at math than girls, right? And they do have research that suggests that. I dare I say I don't know about all that, but that's okay. But no, it's not one set rule for every person, right? That's just a generic across the board definition, if you will, right? But in looking at that, guys, that's one of the things that I am truly interested in. What are the things that are we're genetically predisposed to? And then what are the things that we can actually, all we got to do is go out there and do a couple of little things, change our minds and shift, right? And then we can go ahead and make the situation or make your life something completely different from anything that you've ever known. Be the first in your family, right? To come out of being broke, busted, and disgusted because you are intentional in this thing. You know, figure out what it is that you want, guys, and go get it. If you want whatever it is that you want for your life, guys. But the thing of this that I need to make sure that I share with you, and it goes back to the quote this morning by Benjamin Disraeli. It's not about the money, and it's not about you. It's not about just sharing your riches with other people, right? And it goes also back to the old proverb, give a man a fish, he'll eat for the day. But teach a man to fish, and he eats for a lifetime. So it's not about just giving another riches, but teaching them to recognize and to see their own. So I'm hopeful today that you're starting to see those layers that are over your eyelids. They're starting to be peeled back, right? So you can say, oh, baby, I see clearly now, right? I can see clearly now that I get all of this stuff. See, oftentimes that's our problem. We allow stuff to get in our way because we want to look a certain way. We want to look like we all, you know how we do, right? So how do you not recognize, guys, so that you can be intentional and actually achieve the goals that you've set up for yourself? Get out there and start investing so you can get to your next, guys. All of these things that I'm sharing with you today, you more than likely have heard them before. But the thing I want to share with you today is your actions speak louder than your words. Because you'll come here and you'll say, yes, I'm going to start investing. I'm going to do it. You'll say, okay, I'm going to do it by my birthday. Okay, I'm going to do it by the end of the summer. Okay, I'm going to do it by October. I got to get some things in order. Okay, I'm going to get it done by Christmas. But next year at this time, if I come back and I ask you, did you do it? What will your story be? Right? Did you sit on your laurels? Or did you get up and do something so that you can actually achieve the goals that are going to help you to get to your next? See, that's what's most important, guys. You don't have to be the same person that you are today, right? Your situation doesn't have to be the same in the same place that it is today. As long as you're taking that one step to get to your next, you can change that. But the thing is, guys, you need a plan. You have to figure out what it is that you want first so you can start going in that direction. And when you're living life not knowing what it is that you want, are you really living your life? Are you living your life, or are you just going through the day-to-day, just going through the minutia, just going through the steps? Because these are behaviors, these are patterns that you have now embedded within your lifestyle that you just walk through and don't even recognize. You are zombified, right? Zombified in this moment because you haven't recognized the greatness that is within you, walking in your purpose and getting to your next. Guys, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to you. So when I move, you move. Just like that, right? And JoJo has the sticky note she can show you. Somebody's waiting to hear your voice, and they will not move until you do. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? You holding somebody else up. Can I say that? Mm-hmm. I'm intentional today. I'm not gonna hold anybody else up, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I didn't get into the bed until after like 2:30, almost 3 this morning. And you better know that it was tough for me to get up and get here at 7:15 this morning, right? But I got up because I know that, and I heard, and all I could hear was JoJo's quote and her holding up that sticky note. Somebody needs to hear your voice, and they're not going to move until you do. And I said, doggone it. And I rolled over and I got up out of the bed, pushed my hair back in some semblance of what I had to do so I can get on here and share this message with you, right? Because somebody needed to hear my voice and they're not going to move until I did, right? And I'm not going to be held accountable for that.
Sure.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, right? Now it's up to you to get to your next. So guys, don't forget about it. Those SMART goals, they have to be specific, measurable, attainable, results oriented, and time specific. And if you're ready to move to your next, guys, you want to have a conversation with me and say, Lynn, I need to figure this thing out with my finances, but I don't know how to go. I don't know where to start. I want to start investing. I don't know what to look at. Go to bit.ly/talk to Lynn, and Lynn has to be capitalized. bit.ly/talk to Lynn, so we can sit down and have a conversation. There's a 15-minute conversation, so you can basically tell me what it is that you need, and I can make some suggestions, or we can have a conversation, right? Looking at things from a different perspective, because you got to be relentless. Sometimes we don't even know how to figure that thing out, and we need to talk to somebody that's already been through it so we can say, okay, save yourself a few steps is what I'm telling you. Save yourself a couple of steps, because when I move, you move. Just like that, right? We have to be intentional and actually reach our goals so we can build generational wealth, so that we do have a legacy, so that we can walk in the abundance that God created us to do, right? Because our Father, guys, think about it, our Father has made everything available to us. And just like in your home, in the two-parent home with a mom and a dad, those children tend to have more things available to them than the child that's in a single-parent home. And then you got to think about it from this perspective. Our Father, and I'm talking big G God now, right? Our Father is the creator of the entire universe. And if he's ours, then what are we sitting around here wanting for? Because we got out of line, we're hard-headed, we're not doing what it is that we're supposed to do, right? So now you got to get back on track so you can be intentional to get to your next. So recognize what it is that you want to do, guys, first and foremost. What is it? Be relentless in identifying what that thing is. That's your one thing today, guys. Get that done first. Then things start to fall into place. All right, guys, I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. And I'm going to pass that off to my co-host, Miss JoJo.
Good morning, guys. Lynn, I'm glad you had a good time on your trip. I can't wait to hear about it. The fearless thought for the day is actually a question. So I have a question. Is your craziness the source of your tiredness? Have you ever met the people that's always tired? Like when they come home, they got to take a nap just so they can function for the rest of the evening. Or as soon as they get up, the first words out their mouth is, "Oh, girl, I'm so tired. I didn't sleep good. I'm just tired." And they just tired all the time.
Right.
Being crazy, and you can put whatever crazy is for you attached to that, can make you tired. It can exhaust it can exhaust you mentally, emotionally, and physically. So if you allow your crazy to continue to take over your life, then you're always going to be tired, and you're going to find that you have no energy. So what you'll find is Lynn and I'll come on here and we'll tell you how to live past crazy in your life and your finances, and then you'll be all gung-ho until we hit the finish button. And then when you hit the finish button, you be like, "I'm too tired to be doing that today. I can't fool with that today. I ain't got time to do that today. I'm too tired. My mind hurt. I ain't got," and you have all the excuses in the world. But is your crazy keeping you tired? Because when you live in crazy, this is what I know. When you live in crazy and you cannot wait to go to sleep because you say, "I'm so tired, I'm going to go to sleep." But guess what happens when you go to sleep? your mind doesn't stop thinking about the crazy. It continues. Good morning, Malachi. It continues to think about
Morning.
the crazy all the time, even in your sleep. So your body physically may be laying down, but your mind is continuously going all the time. So the same crazy you were just living, you're now dreaming it. And now when you wake up, it's your reality once again.
Uh-huh.
You're always going to be tired. And at what point are you going to stop? Are you going to get sick of being tired? Like, when are you going to get tired of saying, girl, I'm so tired. I can't do this. I don't know what to do. And here's also what you'll find is not only you be tired, is that you're sleepy a lot. Have you ever? I have friends that need a nap as soon as they get home from work. Or their entire, what do you have planned for Saturday? Nothing. And every time you call them, they sleep for the whole day Saturday. And after church on Sunday, their highlight is to eat and go to sleep, wake up, eat again, and go to sleep again, to wake up, watch their favorite TV show, then go to bed. And then when they wake up on Monday, they're tired again. But all they did was sleep the entire weekend. Do you have friends like that? I have friends like that. And they boast about the fact that, girl, I got me some good rest this weekend. I slept Saturday, I slept Sunday. What is causing you to sleep? What is so crazy or non-interesting about your life that you want to sleep it away all the time? So one of the things about living past crazy, you got to get quiet. You got to be by yourself and look at the thoughts you're having about yourself. Is your crazy making you tired? Is it the source of your tiredness? Is it the reason why you sleep all the time because you don't want to deal with it? And in all actuality, that's your body's way of protecting you because, I talk about those extremes from one end to the other, and you're always living in extreme, and your body just needs rest. So it shuts itself down. So that's why you're always wanting to go to sleep, because your body is exhausted from trying to keep up from your extreme. Either I'm crazy over here on 10,000, or I'm crazy in my finances on 10,000, or I'm crazy on both at 10,000. And I'm going to add some kids and a husband and a job to that mix. And your body says, you know what? We got to get some rest. You got to shut down for just a little bit. Because if you don't stop, when I tell you, if you don't stop this crazy, that you will end up sick somewhere, and it will manifest in the other forms of health issues, from stress, anxiety, heart attacks, heart problems, migraines, you name it, it can happen. And then as soon as and this is the sad thing, we wait till we get good and sick to be introspective and to stop and think about what was causing the sickness. And it may not have been the food you were eating. It was truly the lifestyle you were leading. So you have to think about that. So on today, this Motivational Monday, think about what is crazy doing for you. Is it the source of your tiredness? Is it the reason why you're sleepy all the time? Why you have no energy to do? And have you seen people, I have no energy to do anything. Girl, I just want to sit here at the house and do nothing. Or they walk a few steps and they just about to die because they're tired. It's because crazy has taken over their mind and their body. And their body, because your body has focused all of its resources and energy on keeping you in your crazy, it has nothing left to give the rest of your body. So today, guys, as we end the morning show, is your crazy keeping you tired? Is it keeping you tired? Is it the source of why you wake up tired? You go to bed tired. You can only talk about how tired you are. You hang out with other tired people. You can barely make it through the day because you need to go to the car and have a nap on lunch break because you're tired. Why are you tired all the time? Good morning, Antoinette. How are you?
Good morning.
Why are you tired all the time? You got to think about that, because crazy, let me tell you, crazy will take over your life and your mind. And before you know it, it is your world, and your body is trying to tell you something. So your body wants to keep you just as safe as your mind does. So you've got to get rid of some of that crazy. Remember, if it's always at extremes, then your body's going to sit down because it doesn't know what to do. All of your energy is going to your crazy. None of your energy is going to keeping you healthy. And here's my confession. When I was living in crazy, my stomach hurt all the time. All the time, my stomach hurt. I get, old people call it a nervous stomach. Crazy had my stomach tore up. It had me with a headache all the time. It had me with some type of problem all the time, regardless. So is your crazy the source of your tiredness? Is your crazy the source of your sickness, your illness? Is your crazy the source of your bad habits? Because it could be the source of your bad habits, meaning whatever your vice is to make you feel better because you living in crazy, that can keep you tired. Because if the only thing you can say every day is, "Oh, I'm tired, you don't have the time, you don't have the energy," it's because your crazy is sucking it all out, period, and it's making you tired. So that is the fearless thought for the day, guys, on this motivational Monday. Is your craziness the source of your tiredness? So pay attention to what you say, how you say it, and what's going on in your life. Every time you get up, if you say I'm crazy, that's because you done slept with it all night long in your mind and your thoughts. And it's just a reminder that it's still there. At some point, you got to stop the crazy. That's just all it is to it. If not, you're going to end up an alcoholic, a drunk, overeating, overweight, chain smoke. You're going to have so many other problems, and you're not going to know where they come from. It's because your crazy has convinced you that you need all those things to deal with it. And then that's why your body is shutting down. Yes, your crazy is sucking out all your energy. You don't have any to give to your body doesn't have any left to give to anything else. You short of breath, you can't walk, your legs hurt, your head hurt, your body hurt. Crazy has taken up everything, and it saps all of your energy. Y'all know I'm a brain science nerd, and there's tons of research back out there about how your thoughts create and affect your body. And if that's the only thing you're thinking of, it's going to manifest inside of your body. So today, please think positive thoughts. And here's a quote from my friend. Where did it go? From my friend I was talking to the other day, and we were having a conversation, and he said something. I don't know if I shared this with you. He said something. I literally had to write it down on a sticky note. Where'd it go?
He said something about it's not my job.
Yeah, he said it's not my job to feed into your doubts. It's my job to feed into your dreams and your future. So that is true, Lynn. I think that's going to be our new motto for the morning show. It's not our job to feed into your doubts. It is our job to feed into your dreams and your future, to show you that there is truly something different. And you need friends like that, and he wasn't sugarcoating it. And he can't say my name right to save his life. He tears it all up. But
well, we all struggle with that. I can't even say a thing about it. And I know you would tell me over and over. I know it's John Mitra, but I'll say John Mitra in a heartbeat because I'm saying JoJo.
Yeah, and that's what he said. I said, my name is wrong. He said, I don't care what your name is, JoJo. All I'm saying is it's not my job to feed. And he was, when I tell you need those friends that can break it down, and they don't really, in a moment, they don't care if they hurt your feelings because they're giving you the truth of what you need to hear. And so I was having like a little side pity party. He was like, I don't care nothing about that. That's not my job. That's your job to feed into your doubts and your fears if that's what you choose to do. It's not my job. So you can't force me to feed into your stuff. I was like, well, dog, let me write that down. And how many people do we force into our crazy? How many people do we force into being negative with us? That's why you got to check your circle. You got to check your circle, because that energy, that crazy energy manifests sickness, weakness, crazy inside of your body and in your life. Please don't pass that down to your children, because they are watching, or your other family members, because they are watching. All right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Morning Show. Don't forget to please share the video. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, there's our YouTube channel, so they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows. I think the one I just posted is Your Thoughts Are the Greatest Vehicle to Your Change. And that is absolutely so true. Once you change your thoughts and you're committed and decided to do something different, then change will continue to happen. period.
Yes.
It's going to go as fast as you want it to go. Of course, there's a process, but if you go slow, it's going to go slow. So be mindful of that. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing, amazing Monday. Thank you guys for joining the Fearless Morning Show. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. And at some point, I may get rid of the happy birthday balloons. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of holding on to them happy birthday balloons. But I didn't get anything pierced. I didn't get hair color yet. So hair color is on deck to get that. Thank you, Internet, for sharing. Is on deck for that. So I had a great birthday. Thank you, everybody that took time out to tell me happy birthday. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not joking. I want y'all to throw me a birthday party next year. So whoever's interested in help planning it, let me know, because I'm having a party for 44, y'all. I promise you. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.
Signing off.